She arrived at the luxury hotel, her heels clicking against the marble floor, unaware that the world she had built for herself was about to collide with the life she once shared. Her husband was there, smiling at a woman who wasn't her, flaunting his betrayal like it was a trophy. But as she stepped into the grand lobby, eyes scanning the opulent chandelier, the air shifted. The staff straightened. Whispers filled the room, and all eyes turned to her. What he didn't know could destroy everything he thought he controlled. Who truly held the power now? Watch until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Monique had always been extraordinary. From humble beginnings, she clawed her way through obstacles that would have broken others, proving time and again that determination and intelligence could outshine privilege and prejudice. Her career was a series of calculated moves, turning small investments into thriving enterprises, all while enduring the subtle racism and underestimation she faced daily. Greg, her husband, appeared successful and charming to the world. Still, behind closed doors, his loyalty was questionable, his admiration shallow. For years, Monique suspected his infidelity, but she had focused on her growth rather than confronting his deception. Until today. Today, she was visiting one of her most ambitious acquisitions, a luxurious hotel Greg had bragged about as a symbol of his status. She carried the proof of her ownership in her portfolio, the final confirmation that the tables had turned. What he thought was his domain was now hers, and she was prepared to claim it, without confrontation, with undeniable authority. Greg leaned against the sweeping staircase, a confident smile plastered on his face, arm casually draped around a glamorous woman whose laughter rang like music in the grand hall. Monique paused at the entrance, allowing herself a moment to take in the scene. Each gesture of familiarity between Greg and his mistress, each careless laugh, felt like salt on old wounds, a reminder of betrayals both small and blatant. The staff greeted him politely, unaware of the storm about to enter their midst. Monique's footsteps were deliberate, measured, echoing through the lobby as she approached the front desk. She handed the receptionist documents confirming her ownership, and the energy in the room shifted instantly. Conversations halted, phones paused mid-gesture, and every eye turned to her. Greg's smile faltered, confusion replacing arrogance, while his mistress whispered anxiously, realizing that their game had ended. Staff members straightened, deferring to Monique with a respect that Greg had never commanded. The whispers of "the owner is here" filled the room, growing louder as guests glanced between the two. With every step she took, Monique's presence radiated authority and power, turning his public display of dominance into an embarrassing testament to his ignorance. The balance of control had shifted completely. He had underestimated the very woman who had quietly built her empire. Greg turned slowly, disbelief etched across his face as he watched Monique stride through the lobby. The confident man who had laughed moments ago now looked like a child caught in a storm. Every boast, every flaunting of success, crumbled in the presence of her undeniable authority. She didn't raise her voice, didn't demand attention. Her power was inherent, palpable, visible in every gesture and movement. Staff bowed slightly, guests whispered, and the mistress's bravado dissolved into anxious uncertainty. Monique's gaze met Greg's, not with anger, but with the quiet, unshakable triumph of a woman who had waited patiently for this moment. All the arrogance he had displayed was meaningless now. He was no longer in control. In that instant, it became painfully clear. The woman he underestimated had become the force that defined the room, the empire, and the outcome. The reckoning had arrived. Monique walked confidently through the lobby, each step affirming her victories and the resilience that had brought her to this point. Greg and his mistress shrank into the background, powerless witnesses to the authority and competence they had failed to see. This was more than personal revenge. It was a testament to perseverance, skill, and the quiet power of those too often underestimated because of race or gender. The hotel, once a symbol of Greg's boastful arrogance, now stood as Monique's triumph, a reflection of her intelligence, patience, and unshakable resolve. Her story resonated far beyond the lobby, embodying the countless struggles and victories of Black women whose contributions are ignored or stolen. True power isn't loud, it's cultivated, earned, and undeniable. As Monique looked around, the question lingered. How often do we fail to recognize the strength quietly building around us? Share your thoughts. What city and country are you watching from? Take care.